What's up, vegan savages, and welcome to another episode of the Vegans podcast, of this new chapter. Feels like my second episode in my life of this new chapter. The last episode was so well received. We got so many loving messages, so many analytic DMs, and overall, vegan savages so approve of you. They love you. They can feel the love. You know, I was self-critical about the first episode because I was so rambly and...
Baby, you're perfect.
Because this is new for me and I wanna, I always wanna talk about what excites me the most and it never stops. I'm still here, we're all still here. If you're still physical, there's something for you. And I wanna talk about the things that are going on in our lives, becoming, growing, expanding, and we're so on a level where so many people can so learn, and figuring out together is the most fun. And there's, I think, always some rambling and ranting and looking for words and sound effects. So this is part of that, but what comes through is the frequency, and people felt it and they got so excited. Yes, we want to keep spreading this love, this true unconditional love that makes people uncomfortable. And when it comes to that, yes, we want to be on the team making people uncomfortable with this love.
How do you feel in your body?
I'm sweating because I'm still adjusting to the climate, but I love it. Feels so good being here and I like sweating.
Do you really? Come on.
I mean, in the gym, I love it. In Germany, when it's really cold and I'm having an intense workout and I don't sweat at all, it doesn't feel, it feels so good here when I'm drenched after training. Mm-hmm. But when I'm like freshly showered and eat some cooked Thai food and start sweating, then not.
Immediately.
I mean, you're right. Right now, I don't enjoy it, but it's all right. And besides that, I feel so good in my body. I'm so happy we're doing this first thing kind of in the morning, because this is so my highest excitement, and we're so good at the formula together and staying grounded and becoming this amazing team and sharing that, sharing the whole process, you know, not after years, okay, we're this amazing team, you know, that's what I do. I cut words, but when I talk with you alone, you get it, so I don't want to do that at the podcast. I want to say it out, because we are on a level where we're so kind of telepathic, and when I talk to you,
to the point where it scares you.
Yeah, and when I talk to you alone, it's great, but when we're doing a podcast, I don't want to skip words, and when I re-listened, I know what I was saying, but I didn't say it, and then
because we were saying it in our brains.
Yes. So yeah, I'm so happy we're documenting our relationship and all of that and all what's to come, and there's so much to come from kind of the beginning. And that's why I wanted to start the last podcast with staying grounded, because the last day so much happened, and it's so important, and we say it to each other and everyone who's listening. So many people are like, since Corona, when does it stop? Does it go back to normal? It doesn't stop. And we don't want it to stop.
We don't want it to.
We don't want to go back in comfortable of fear, of negativity.
I want to go forward.
Yes, and forward is always going to be different, and it doesn't stop, and embracing that. And we are at a point where this level of unknown is basically 100%. And I love that. Like that, what I always preach, trust. In the unknown is where the rest of you resides. Trust, make a friend of the unknown, and just get this trust that you are not designed to know how, you are guided. But before that, because I was in the German structure, there was so much still certainty. Rocker Nutrition goes 100% vegan by the end of the year. I'm going to build this by then, because other people were so in the structure, and I kept pushing the flow, but I still had both. But now, I don't know. There's nothing for me going back to Germany. This is all unknown, and that's where I want to go. And I'm usually really good with not getting overwhelmed, but here, like this morning, kind of moving into this remote collective place, calling it our place, seeing all the things I want to do. Whoa, so many things. Where does it go? And then stop. Okay, daily I do a little bit. as much as it excites me because I want to do so many other things. And then I don't get overwhelmed by that. It's a challenge and I get good at this all. So I stay grounded and I'm not designed to know how. And yeah, this is all what I wanted. I was like, and yesterday, some Vegan Savage in the gym, they were listening to our podcast. They're like, finally, it sounds like you have some challenges. Before that, you were kind of always in the teacher role teaching us. And now it sounds like you can grow big times and we can learn even more because so many Vegan Savages, they get it. It's them. They heal themselves. They get on that level and wanna, okay, what's kind of next? This human shit, I kind of figured it out. I'm becoming more and more my true natural self. And now we can move forward together. So how do you feel in your body?
I feel like I need to drink some water. I think it's the AC. The AC.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Like you love the AC.
Turn it
I
off.
lived here for many years. It's too much for me. I feel really good and excited to do this podcast. Yesterday I recorded one. We were going to do one together, and then I was so inspired to record one by myself, and thank you for setting everything up. And I just feel so in flow with like releasing all of these transmissions to the world and rising up together, you know. I've always been a person that's like, I don't want to go backwards. I can see the future. I can see where we're going, and I'm like, why is no one else seeing this? And there's so many beautiful things coming, and I'm so excited to build them all, and I'm so happy we're doing it together now. And yeah, I'm happy. I feel good in my body.
And I saw it too for such a long time, and it slowly, but I was like, when is it really starting? And now it's starting. Now it's like fully starting.
We have arrived.
We have arrived. So being savages, I want you all to also arrive, because there is no real arrival. The journey is everything. The journey is the destination in unfoldment. Thank you for making this nice protein shake for us. And yeah, Brittnee is so adjusted to the climate. Our relationship is kind of, we're in a room, like we had this nice getaway. I'm naked sweating and she's having her, how do you call it, warm bottle?
I have a hot water bottle, like a warm-up thing I can put on my neck and like underneath the comforters.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's okay, you're my heating pad.
Kind of yin and yang. There's so many things to talk about.
You made some notes, right?
Yeah. First, I'm so excited
Okay.
the podcast you recorded yesterday. I haven't listened to it, and I'm still so happy you managed to press record. That it's because she recorded 1 hour and 40 minutes. Whoa!
I had so many people. Like I always respond to what people are asking, and I had so many people ask me in the last week. You seem like you're so in your feminine. You seem so happy, and like I don't know, like being a woman. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, how do I do that? And then it was an interesting question to ask myself because I'm just being. It's not like I'm doing anything. And then I thought, okay, what was the journey for me to get there? Because I would love for other people, especially women, to feel that they can be in their feminine more. And then I just felt like I turned it on the record. I pushed the button.
Twice.
So
it actually records.
And then, yeah, I went into like this super flow channeling state and was just like recording. And then I came out of it and I was like, oh, wow, this is almost 2 hours. I've been sitting here for 2 hours talking.
And that's called the channeling state. Watch the documentary from Bashar. It's on YouTube now. It's called First Contact. We all get in this channeling state. For Bashar, in this case, it's channeling an extraterrestrial, but for many people, we get in a channeling state doing human things like recording a podcast, recording music, being on stage.
Well, I feel like
just in conversations.
It's our higher minds coming through.
Exactly. Like that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah.
We are here to have our authentic selves give perspective on our timelines, you know, and each of us have different pieces of the puzzle. So it's, for me, I am always knowing that I call it my higher self, because I feel like it's more encompassing the body and the mind and everything.
I started calling it now higher self too.
But
Bashar like calls it higher self, higher mind.
Higher mind is so, in our, at least in the English language, it's so connected to masculine and intellectual. And for me, higher self is the intellectual and the body. I mean, we have physical body, but like everything, it's everything, you know? And I just, when I say higher mind, in my in my body, it feels like I'm talking about my intellectual self.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of my soul and my higher self, it's like everything. It's all everything, you know? But anyways, I feel like channeling for me is like pulling all of that. Like everything comes from the bigger cosmos. Source. And we get to have our little flavor of it when we channel. And it comes through our bodies. It comes through our experiences and everything. This is why I'm always like, I want you to channel you. I love it when you talk about Bashar. I also love Bashar and everything.
Yes.
And you have so much to say.
Brittnee, I cannot not be myself and she sees through everything, so I don't even try to.
You did for a while, but now that's done.
Yeah, and now I can only be myself, and that's all what I want. But to this 100% degree, and then sometimes even, or often, that I have this feeling of I cannot put it in words yet, and then you channel me, and I'm, yeah, exactly, that's what it is. And here's an example, what you just said. Me studying Bashar for almost 10 years, yeah, I get it. And in German, because Bashar doesn't speak German, I had to channel as Ferdi, this message translated in German. And then my German podcast, Wie-Gains.de podcast, became so conscious. This frequency, it's like music, and seeing how it transforms people big time, that they so wake up insanely. And I was like, what have I created there? And now I want to get there in English. And then in English, because I'm mostly, when I got there, it was mostly German. And now, like in our last podcast, I realized I'm kind of hiding behind Bashar, because in English, I can quote him because he's speaking English. And then it's kind of like this hiding, because this like protection shield, because Bashar is saying that it's not me, it's him saying it. So, but no. I believe it 100%. Yeah. And I want to say it my way, related to me, Ferdi, and get in this channel state I can now access in German and English.
Why were you wanting to protect yourself?
From hate, from criticism, from and.
But you didn't do that in German. That's why I'm curious.
Yeah, because I couldn't, because he doesn't speak.
You didn't have an option.
Yeah, basically.
So if he spoke German, you would just quote him in German.
I mean, it's all assumption based, so probably.
Yeah.
But this was exactly what I wanna. Sometimes I recorded podcasts kind of about the same in English and German. German was so much more on point, because I need to say it in German, and then it just comes out naturally, and it got to the point, like at the flow state retreats, when I did the live podcast, especially when people ask me questions, I don't know what I'm saying. It just comes out, and it's not energy training at all. It just boosts me up with energy, and I just listen exactly where they are, and I can see through all the things, and in the core, that's the limiting negative fear-based belief. I make it big, so we both see it, it's in front of us, and then I tell them what resonates the most, how to transform it, action tips. And I don't even know what I'm saying. And it's just, and I want to get there in English too. And I know I'm getting there so fast.
You're already there.
I'm already there. We arrived. So, but that's why I love it. You speak my soul in some things I cannot put in words, yet you put in words, and I'm like, yep, I want to sign that, exactly this. And also this I cannot be my true natural self. Like when I was, another example,
you mean you only can be?
I can only, thank you, always correct me, I can only be my true natural self. For another example, when we met on the scooter, I was really caffeinated, and then
last week, yeah.
And then
we synchronistically bumped into each other, as we always do, even when we're doing our own things. And I had just had a nice, like, chocolate iced cacao, and you just had a nice coffee. And I was just looking at you like,
I need to go to the
you
gym.
were like vibrating.
The coffee's kicking in. I need to do some burpees. And I didn't enjoy that state. And I always knew this is not in alignment, but I never had the motivation, because it felt like I was already so much in alignment that if I get even more, like fully in alignment, I strip everyone out and they cannot catch up. So looking back, I realized I did some things to to let people catch up, to not become too alien, to become more relatable. And no.
Isn't it so beautiful that even in all of this, we are still so human that even though we're so alien, we just don't want to be alone in it.
Yes.
And this is why I feel so called to start using my voice, because I'm noticing so many more of us waking up and coming into their bodies, and they feel so alone.
And they're not.
They're not alone.
You open me to so many friends. I'm like, I thought I'm on this level alone.
No, there are so many, and they're all here. A lot of them are coming. You haven't even met some of them, babe.
And now, let's step into our full power and our full light, and outstrip others that they can catch up big times. Big times. I want to be in full alignment and kick everyone in full alignment as well. So I always knew that was caffeine, because I'm drinking caffeine, and then it's this.
And you even got Julian to drink caffeine. He was telling me like, I'd stopped, and then Faraday got me to start drinking it again. I
influenced him so badly, and now I stopped. He stopped as well.
How is he doing with that?
Really well.
Okay,
yeah, I'm so proud of him that he just, he knows how much he can learn from me. So no ego, just heart, and he soaks it all up, and he's so at the level where he fucking gets it. He gets it. And yesterday we caught up, because the last days we haven't spent so much time, because we spent a lot of time, and he got this big challenge, which was perfectly synchronistically of getting in the flow himself, experience the synchronicity I was always talking about. And
instead of following your flow.
Exactly, which got him there, because my flow is so inspiring. And then first he had this resistance, like, oh, should I fly back? And then he's at this point where he catches it himself. And then he had the last 2 days this amazing orchestration of synchronicity following in his excitement. It's like, okay, now I text. No, I text what my highest excitement is. No, I say, I don't speak about blah, blah, blah. I speak to this person what excites me the most. And in this case, it's psychedelics. And then it leads to this. And then it just unfolds following your passion, getting the formula, arriving in the here and now. And then you see this orchestration of synchronicity where you can just be you and everything is there and reflects that.
I really want to say to everyone that the whole coming into the flow thing is so much easier in a bubble like Copenhagen than it is probably Germany or all these places.
99% easier.
Everyone else here is already in the flow. Life itself, like talking about all the what does Bashar say about like the basic needs or whatever? Like those are so easy to take care of here. And so what you're left with is connecting, creative expression, connecting to yourself, connecting to nature, and it's like one big playground.
And here the flow pulls on you.
Oh yeah, that's why if you don't get in the flow,
you leave.
You start getting scooter accidents. Weird things start happening, and it's gotten to the point where all of my friends who have lived here long enough were like, "Oh no!" Like we're like, the island's gonna kick you off pretty soon.
Your higher mind is like, here's resistance, here's pain. Either you get it, or you're gonna leave and run away because it's not your timing yet. And last winter, I was here.
What happened?
This flow was so pulling at me, but I still had these structures. This is my training plan. I'm gonna track my meal, and then it didn't feel so good because it was so hard to keep that structure because the flow was. And then I let it all go. And
how did it feel?
I lost 5 kilograms of body fat. I felt so light. I felt so good, and everything played out fully, beautifully. I knew these things before. It was just this small amount, but the small amount, like these, it changed. It's kind of.
Wait, how is it now off coffee? I forgot to ask that.
How is it now?
How are you feeling in your body now that you're off coffee?
So aligned, because I'm having so much energy that I'm sometimes ashamed of my energy. Because it's. Remember when we wanted to go to bed at the getaway? Yeah. I'm like, I have still so much.
But babe, I love that you have so much energy.
Exactly.
I love resting and knowing that you're doing your thing.
Yes, and coffee. Then I have this too much energy, where too much for this amount of time, where I want to stop working out now, but I need to continue. I need to run now. And then later I have less energy. So now it's this stable energy.
They call it, when I was researching going off coffee, they call it borrowed energy. Because you're basically taking energy from the future and bringing it in, but then you have a crash. Exactly.
And I mean, I'm super passionate about the gym. So this coffee and gym, I only drank coffee before I went to the gym. I never was a coffee addict. I just drink this because when I drink coffee, I need to work out. I don't get how people sit in a coffee place and just drink coffee and I'm like, I gotta go now and run.
Or you're gonna explode.
Or I'm gonna explode. I had it a couple times where I did that and then I was in the car. I was freaking out. Yeah. So, but then when I drink coffee and then it's like, okay, now it's kicking. I need to go to the gym. And then sometimes synchronicity wanted to kick, but everything go away. Some people were like, go away. I need to lift something now. And now, for example, the last gym trainings, there is not this periodic time where I need to train. So I had so many messages. I knew that, and I was so excited to answer them. So I went on, usually I do that after my training. I went on the treadmill first, listened to music, and for an hour just walked and answered all my messages. And that was my excitement to do before. And then I was so warm, and then I had this amazing training, already so much headspace, because I took care of the play party, I answered my Insta DMs, I uploaded my stories, I did my entire WhatsApp. And sometimes after the training, I'm so done that I'm not so excited about it, but I really want to get it done. And then it felt so aligned. Now I can fully decide. And then even after I did that, some Vegan Savages came to me, and we had such a nice conversation. And when I'm like, get out of my way. How many more sets do you do there? I need this bench now. The caffeine is kicking. And now it's so relaxed. And now I listen to Bashar even way more when I train. Because before that, oh my God. And now I can
it's
just...
like you go into Hulk mode.
Yeah, but in this not fully in alignment.
Yeah.
And kind of like before, I always knew that this was the case. I always knew. We always... Deep down, we always know when we fool ourselves. But I was like, I don't want to strip as I said. Like even getting a bit chubby was, I belong more. So I'm not, so many, yeah.
I always think it's funny when you talk about getting chubby, because I think you're perfect.
But that's what I said. When I came here last winter, I lost in a short amount 5 kilograms of fat. I was a bit chubby, like around last winter, because I got into Rocker Nutrition, and then last winter we went to Tulum, Mexico, and I was around with all the other influencers, and they are so huge, they are so muscular, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna get that muscular too, but my body is so not designed for that. And then I gained a good amount of even more muscles, but also a good amount of body fat, but it was so feeling out of alignment. My arms were like, they were falling asleep during the night because of the oxygen that was lacking.
All of this sounds crazy.
Yeah, because when you see my wrist, I'm this lean guy.
Babe, I like it when you're natural.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, and I'm so happy because doing so many things that are us humans, how we work, we so often do things that we don't enjoy, that don't excite us, to find what truly excites us. And it's so important to do them, because otherwise we keep boggling, maybe if, and I looked everywhere, and I looked, I'm gonna, like, finding it in the outside, in food, in muscle, in caffeine, no. This whole will never be fulfilled with anything until you find it in yourself, that you are complete and there's nothing in the outside, and then you stop looking. And I looked everywhere, and that was so nice, because
what were you looking for?
Yeah, for being fully complete, that there's nothing missing. You know, when most people don't love themselves unconditionally, that they think in the core they're not enough. This is what all fear, negative, limiting beliefs come back to, that there's something missing. And then they look in food and overeat. They look in drugs to numb themselves.
I know, but what were you looking for?
Yeah. Still, like, could it be even that maybe there's still something that makes, when I look this way, or when I'm...
No, but what were you actually looking for?
Yeah, for this. For what I found now, truly, by looking at many places, like, this isn't that's not it. It's all me. It's truly all me. And I got that intellectually for a long time,
So
but experientially I so got it now.
You were trying to find home in your own body, to feel at home.
Yes.
I mean, is that true?
I mean,
'Cause I'm just like, what were you? Because you were very awake.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are like, well, If Faraday's still looking.
I mean, it was more this exploration of experience. You know, you when you read my human design, you said it so beautifully that the first 30 years of my life, I try everything. And so I call myself, my vegan savages can tell, for so many years, an experience hunter. I love experiencing things because only the experience can tell. You can read about Kopangan as much as you want. You can watch all videos, podcasts, but once you hear an experience, and it wasn't so much, I already knew for a long time, I'm complete, there's nothing missing, but I'm still want to experience so many things, sexually, intellectually, food-wise, trying extreme diets.
Going to the max with everything.
Yeah, and seeing how to experience it, and then coming back to, and it always comes basically back to the basics, but if I wouldn't have experienced it, I would still be, maybe if I experience that, I wanna experience it. And then see, okay, I know how this is, and now I see that so many things we think that we want, they don't kick us in alignment, they kick us out of alignment. That's why Bashar says so nicely, it's not about what you want, but what you need. What you want mostly doesn't fulfill you, but what you need will always fulfill you. So if you want something, want what you need. And I now only want what I need.
But now it sounds like you researched that very thoroughly, what you need. Like you went out and tried all the things to know exactly what's good for you.
And we basically all need the same. And
I just find it interesting because like I came to the same conclusion, but maybe from the feminine side, where like I intuitively knew what I needed, and I just kind of like followed that path. I didn't need to go out and go to the extreme on every single thing.
And I did it completely other way, intellectually educating myself, and then but not embodying it so much. And that's why I'm so happy you're excited about a podcast, because for you I mean you don't see yourself from the outside, but you are so magnetized. Is that a word? Magnetizing? No. Yes.
Magnetizing.
Yeah. That so many things you do them so right, but it just comes to you. But when you think about, like yesterday, how am I so in my feminine? It just comes naturally to you. But then when you think about and then you talk and you get in channeling state and break it down, and you already do it. So many people talk, but they don't do it, and then they're talking something they don't know anything about because they're not embodying that. So don't watch what people say, watch what they do. And if you watch Brittnee, you're like, this is a goddess, there's some spell around her. Okay, I better not look her in the eyes, otherwise I cannot be in awe. So I was afraid.
I have so many people that can't look me in the eyes for very long.
And me, including not so long ago, but all it was running away from myself. When you say like the Thai neighbors here don't look in your eyes,
they really don't.
I don't wonder why, because you are so awake that it just reveals kind of everything in you that you try to deny, but deep down you know, and being truly in your presence, like connecting, it reveals all of that, and you need to face it. And that's why I took some time, because I wasn't ready to face it, because I still kind of prepared myself, because I knew I'm not ready to meet her yet. So I grew so much since you came into my life, so much. And then in perfect timing here, okay, now I'm ready to meet you. And
I find it really interesting when you say, like, when you sit with people and you can find their fears and then help them, but it's like very much like for the awake. And for me, when I sit with people and I have sessions with them, it's like, it's not an intellectual thing. It's like I literally feel in my body how their emotional body feels. And I'm like, oof, I don't feel good here, or like this, like, and sometimes if they're super disembodied, I get to the point where I can't even be around them. Like I just literally have to leave the energy field. I'm like, or I know that my energy is just going to start working things out for them. And I'm so protective of my energy, and I'm so happy you're here, because a lot of times I wasn't letting the world know about me because I didn't feel safe. Because when people know about me, they want it. They want that energy, or they want to know all these things. And I just didn't know how to do it in a way where I felt safe, because
That's why
Thank you for protecting me.
Thank you for embodying me. That's why we're the most symbiotic match I've ever seen. Because I'm so good at waking people up, but mostly intellectually, that so many vegan savages, they get it intellectually, and I tell them, take me literal. But it's all words I'm using, and then they get it, but they don't embody it. And then they keep asking the same questions, phrasing them differently, but in the core it's the same, because they understand it, but they don't embody it. And once you don't embody it, you don't understand it.
And it's very normal to not know how to be embodied in a world that is trying to cut us off from our bodies.
So yeah, don't be harsh on yourself.
Yeah.
You make it even worse, and it doesn't feel good. It's really
doing great. You're doing great.
You're all doing great. You're doing great. You're on the right path. We're proud of you. This human experience is challenging as fuck, and it shows everyone who chose this in this timeline here and now how brave and far they are, because, as Bashar likes to say, this is a masterclass. Going here, being so cut off, creating such degree of limitations, masters of limitations. That shows how far this is not kindergarten, this is masterclass. We are masters. And when we can transform this, watch what we can do. We can do anything. And that's what we experience right now, this stepping fully into our power. In this limiting, we're becoming the masters of limitations. But yeah, everyone, so proud of you. And it is so challenging to be human, that we can create an illusion of connection, that we can even do that.
It's not an illusion. We can actually be connected.
No, I mean that we are always connected, but we can create an illusion.
A disconnection. You said.
Yeah. Thank you for it. That's why it's so good.
But I really want to say to everyone that one tip, if you're like, okay, I love what they're saying, but how do I actually drop into my body? How do I pull all of this awakeness into my 3D reality? And saying, when I was meeting all the vegan savages in Austria and loving them and becoming such good friends with your crew, which is now our crew, I just kept sitting with them, and they would start telling me all these things that were happening in their bodies. And I would just ask them, do you feel safe in your body right now? Like, how do you feel in your body? And they're like, I don't really, but I want to have connection. I want my family to love me, and I feel so different from them, and I don't know why. And I always say to them, listen to your body. Your body always is telling you what is good for you. Don't listen to me and Faraday. Listen to your body, and maybe just try for one day to give yourself permission to flow for the whole day of listening to your body. Like, I'm just going to wake up today and do what feels good in my body at every single moment. And even if you had something scheduled and you show up and for whatever reason your body's like, I don't want to hang out with these people right now, even though I normally do, just say, hey, you guys, I need to honor my body, and just go, and it's okay, and see how you feel at the end of the day, and then try it again and then keep going.
And that's exactly what I say. Not follow my excitement, follow your excitement. But often they keep, okay, what is Ferdi doing? And I'm like, no. I'm a master, and I make you a master too, because you are a master. Follow your excitement. Your body is guiding you. Follow your body. You said it so beautifully. And yeah, it's challenging for me to hear that so many of my friends, they're like, I don't even know if I have a higher self. I'm like, how can you not? Because I feel this, for me, it's not believing, it's knowing. In my higher mind, it's so rubbed off me that it's so crystal clear, this connect. It's all, and for them, still being so in the illusion of disconnection.
But we usually get that connection to our higher selves, our higher minds, through the imprint that our parents give to us. And you and I both had really good moms who created a safe environment for us to connect to ourselves and to be in our imagination and to flow and understand how to follow our highest excitement, and really supported it. a lot of people don't have this. And so they're running around like wanting to have that love and connection from their family, but that also means having to be disconnected from themselves. And so this is why for me, like having my family cut me off, I really understood what that was like from a very visceral level, like from a body somatic level. I understood, okay, it's only me. And a lot of people who know my full story, they're like, how did you not kill yourself? Because it was so much disconnection. And I had to connect to myself. That was the only option. And most people don't have to go to that. Maybe I went to the emotional extreme in my experience, but most people don't have to do that. And what I always say is follow your body and then start creating an environment around you where there are safe people who honor you following your body. And this is why I really love the idea of chosen family. So you can have your biological family and love them, and you can also emotionally separate with love. This is what I say. You can love them, but then emotionally, your emotional reality can be with your chosen family who really encourage you and support you honoring your body and honoring what's good for you in your body. And if you tell someone, I need to honor my body, this is what I need to do right now, and they don't respond well, they should not be in your life. Like, those are not people. I mean, you can tell them, hey, this is not okay. And then if they respond good to that, like you said in your boundaries, but if they're continuously not supporting you, honoring your body, they do not deserve to be in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because once you have an experience where you feel the connection to source, to all it is, to your higher self, to your higher mind, however you want to call it, where you know that you are God, once you experience that, you cannot not experience it anymore. And so often, being in families that are so in fear and structure, like in Germany where I grew up, it's so hard to get an experience like that because everything around you is so built to suppress that. And that's why I love, as you said, surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are on the same path, the same life theme of this transformational age of waking up, and then you feel safe to experience that. And then it maybe leads you to a permission slip like Teachers of the Earth, like plant medicine, where you experience it. And when you experience it, you cannot not experience it. I can so see when people listen to us and they're like, what are they talking? They're making it up. But once you had a couple, then everything you know, you think you knew, changes. And yeah, that's why creating these spaces where, and that's why, coming here to Kopangan, when I was in Munich versus here, it's like day and night. I'm this undercover alien trying to fit in, that I'm not getting kicked out, not stepping into my full power because otherwise I cannot function here, felt like kinda. And here, everyone around me is, get in your full light, come. And I'm like our recent evening here, everyone was encouraging me to be in my power, and having that, it's like day and night. And so that's why we're also so excited. Create tribe, create community, that we see the light in people, we see the power, and we create the atmosphere so they can feel safe and experience it. And then just gets infectious. They experience it and they infect.
And then we invite people and empower them to keep creating these safe spaces. So everyone who's listening, you have the power. You don't need to wait for Friday night to create the safe space for you. I empower you and invite you to go and create this safe space for other people, for yourself and other people. And again, if someone reacts negatively to you creating a safe space for yourself and for your body, it's only because they're worried about disconnection. They're worried about disconnecting from you. And so this is why I say separate with love, is because your family loves you. They want to be connected to you. And maybe they were imprinted that being connected to source energy equals disconnection, whatever. And this is generational trauma that we are all dealing with. And we're one of the first generations to fully wake up to this. And it's going to be a little bit clunky when we're coming out of it. Like, imagine coming out of a war zone and you're like this little baby that's like, and you're like trying to wake up and also play. And like everyone around you is freaking out. Like, this is kind of how it feels emotionally in my body sometimes. And that's okay. But the more that we come together and the more we're in tribe together of all of us alien children coming together, then we can make it really fun and we can play and we can let it go through us. Like, all of these emotions, all of this trauma, whatever, it is not meant to be suppressed or to, there's a term called spiritual bypassing, which just means, well, let's just not look at it. Let's just act like everything's fine. that does not work. You have to look at it, face it in a way where you feel safe, let it go through you, and then you can really let it go. And then you can just be a kid.
And you cannot rush it. You can't rush healing.
No.
The song you put in this playlist, I love
song.
that. You cannot rush it.
I used to listen to that on repeat.
Yeah, what you said.
But I want to ask one thing about you.
Okay.
How did it, so we had this beautiful night the other night where we all got together, some of our very close inner crew who are on the same vibration, leading a lot of this community with us. And there was a moment where you were able, I'm not going to talk about what we talked about, but like there was a moment where you were able to drop in and share really what's going on for you and some of your fears and some of your wanting that connection and also to come into your full power. How was it for you to actually share that and to feel connected?
Yeah. Like it was this build up feeling of I have these reoccurring visions. They are so clear. I shared them with no one before. I just kept them in the back of my mind. But I was walking around with these secrets that occupied me. I could think of nothing else, day in and day out. I was walking around with friends. They were talking about something completely differently. And I got these downloads in dreams, in trips, in my imagination. And starting that I so question myself. It's my ego, I'm delusional, but it kept coming back and it has nothing to do with ego or anything. And my higher mind kept telling me, this is what you chose to experience here. And I'm like, why me? Why me? Because it excites me. Because if no one else does it, I do it and I want to do it because it's my excitement. But it's so big. I'm like, is this not my ego? No. It kept coming back, the same visions, the same vision. And I told no one because people, I want to help them and they are so in their fears and then they don't even listen and they cannot do anything with the information. It kind of feels like I'm diluting the message of helping them when I talk about this. So I keep talking
because
about
they can't hold it.
Exactly. And also this fear of people think I'm crazy and then I'm going to be locked up. And I don't want to be locked up. I want to be free and I don't want to be locked up. And then, okay, we have all these structures, so I still always keep, this, so I kind of suppressed it. And then seeing, wow, you're all on the same page, you actually want to know.
And we were like, it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah, it was so nice. Because sometimes when I talk like this a bit to my friends, I see their heads are like, okay, it doesn't interest me so much because I cannot do anything with that information. Let's talk about things that are happening. And this was also so important that we talked about things that are happening right now because that's how we grew in 3D at the flow state retreats, that we talk about what is happening here, But always that's why I loved so much being alone because then I could be with that, make it big, and it just and receive more and more. That I ask these questions where, like, how I saw you coming, I was so insane. I knew you would come, and it got to this point where it's so soon. But and I kind of knew it's you, but I didn't. I just went through all the other possibilities, and then it became clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And then you weren't green anymore, and you were this nice white skin lady with this long hair, and I saw you and now you're here in 3D. I knew you would come in 3D, and now you're here.
And babe, I had the same thing with you. You talk to my friends, they're all like, wow, she was talking about this guy like 3 years this has been coming for me. And other people I've dated, and I just could feel in my body that they weren't the person. And I was just like, I had to let them go, even though it was a nice relationship. I was like, no, there's something bigger coming. There's something bigger. And I would just sit and meditate, and I would feel your energy, and I would cry because it was so beautiful.
It also started 3 years ago, 2019. I remember when I daily vlogged, and every time when I went to bed, I kept going in this, and I just, okay, is she just gonna ring the doorbell? And then sometimes, like, the doorbell rang in the middle of the night, and I got really scared. No, I don't want it to be like that. This is too creepy. And now this happened. So the next thing kind of that's coming is becoming clearer and clearer. And yeah, now I have people I can talk about, and it feels so good. So yeah, it feels home. It feels arrived. It feels safe. It is. I wish that for everyone, and that's why we created for everyone. It's just this effect where they then created for their friends and for their and it becomes the world so fucking quickly. And yeah, what came to me earlier, I just got this flashback of I watched so many World War II movies because I wanted to learn so much from that. It was so inspiring when we work together, how much we can do, but in a negative way, then what we could do in a positive way. And then seeing after World War II how Germany was destroyed, seeing how being in this state, unknown, uncertainty, and it feels like it's kind of the same, but quote unquote objectively in a way more positive way. It's always what you do subjectively with it. But this, for everyone listening, there is not this instruction like, here's exactly how you do it. You do this apprenticeship 3 years. This is how you be. No. This is the unknown where the rest of you resides. This is the unknown. And this is super challenging, but we want challenges. And the movies we love, they're always about that. And it's exactly for us, this transformational age. And it all comes back to us. Mm-hmm. And everyone shows something differently, how they're going to experience that. So you cannot rely on outside people to guide you, but fully step in your light, aka guiding yourself. We don't know what other people should do because they guide themselves. We inspire and we go in the same direction, but you gotta rely on yourself and trust in that.
Yeah, I want to say that it's really safe to do that because most people, they feel like it's unsafe, and if you have this feeling of unsafety and then you're like, I don't know, Freddy's telling me just to go fucking do it, and then I'm like, what do I do? It's like, okay, at that moment, just slow down and take baby steps. And this is why I say just start with a flow day of just listening to your body, because the more, especially in Germany, because of everything that happened with World War II, it's like the emotional body is so suppressed. And there's like this, it's like you're frozen, like this literal frozen emotional state, and you got to thaw out. It's like you got to take it out of the freezer, let it thaw out, like give it some love.
Get a jacuzzi where everyone feels comfortable. Yeah, and this was so the missing piece for me. So good at waking people up, but that they feel safe and created how they can feel safe on their own, and create this community where you just think about them, and even when you're not with them. Like tonight, I got visited, and I got scared at a point, but then I thought about you, and when I think about you, I cannot be scared, and I can do anything. So just creating the safe spaces, and then for others, so they can create it on their own and create it for others.
Yeah. So it's not about being completely on your own. It's about being completely an individual, like your authentic self, and then from that authentic place, connected to other people who are also authentic. And then you amplify the energy together. Because if everyone came to you and I and was like, trying to feed off our energy, then we would just be drained and then we can't do anything. But if they're looking into their own source energy and connecting, and then they come to us and we can build things together, and then we amplify the energy together, and then we all rise up together.
Yeah, and I see it, my vegan savages here, how they together, and together, each other. That's how it is fun.
We're meant to be connected. We're wired for connection. It's not about doing it on your own. It's about finding your own self and connecting to your own source energy, and then coming together from that place. And it's really beautiful and so exciting and so fun and so safe.
And when it comes down to whatever thing you're working on, your project, you always do it for others so you can share it. It's everyone would drop everything if you wouldn't be able to share it, to connect then in some way. And when you do things together, like we arrived now, because all we're building now, we do it as a team. And sometimes when I did things before alone, it felt like I'm working towards something and then I arrived. But
I think the really big piece I want to emphasize here is that we individually had to figure out what our paths were and be connected to our authentic selves, and then the universe brought us together. So like we're doing things together now because we know who we are and what our paths are, and they synchronistically are they're the same, they're aligned. Like the universe was like, okay, Brittnee, she figured out who she was and what she wants to do. Faraday figured out who he was and what he wants to do. Oh, and they happen to be the same thing. Okay, let's connect them.
Yes.
And so when you figure out who you are and you're authentic within yourself, you naturally attract in through your vibration people who are on the same path as you. And then you're just like, okay, let's vibe together. Let's keep going together. You don't stop what you're doing and try and find people to connect with.
Yes.
And then come back to yourself and
So
then stop what you're
important.
doing. It's like, no, figure out what you want, who you are. And then naturally you'll bring in all the people who are on the same level and want to do things together. And then it's so beautiful to do everything together.
That's why so many vegan savages can tell I so disconnected from them. And I keep telling them why. I cannot teach you anything new. You know it all. Your questions are looping. Now you gotta understand that only you can heal you, and you gotta embody that. For example, Jenny, last winter here, I disconnected for her and kind of half of the summer.
I love Jenny.
And
Jenny, we love you.
I love her so much. And then she found it in herself by having that space and not just, okay, what is fair? No, she found, and now, like Jenny and my synchronicity, that is so insane. And she's so, and now her light, how she spreads it. Wow. Yeah. What you said, so important. You can only heal yourself.
But it was really good for you to do that for Jenny, and also to tell her, hey, I love you. Like, I'm
Exactly.
here. Like, I'm creating
I could do that more. I could have done that more.
So this is why I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm
it's
just
like,
cutting them out.
This is what a loving parent does. It's like, I'm here. I don't want to take away your experience of finding yourself, but I'm always here to like cheer you on and send you love. And if you do fall, like this is why I love the community space here that I've built. It's like, it's always been a home base for people if they needed a place to land. And now we're here and we're putting our energy into it, making it something even more beautiful. But I always want to have a place where people can come and just be, because that's the feeling that I never had growing up. I didn't have a place where I could land and just feel safe and let my emotional body like come back to myself. And so I feel so called to create these safe spaces for other people because I know how it feels to feel so disconnected.
And then empowering others so they can create it as well. Like Eve is doing the meetups here and there and just getting it rolling, teaching others, and everyone is becoming a master, and we can all just live.
What else do you want to talk about? Do you have other things?
And yeah, what you just said, I'm so excited to get good at this on the island because I bump into so many vegan savages, and then
it's overwhelming.
It's challenging.
For me, okay, I will say from my perspective, because I have a very similar thing to you on the island. Like on this island, I am mini famous or whatever. Everyone knows me. Everyone's trying to talk to me and da-da-da. And for me, it got to the point where I sometimes just stayed home. Because
Well, I say challenging because, as Fashan likes to say, when we call things a problem or a struggle, we make it inherently bad. And
but we're not those people.
But nothing has a built-in meaning. But I like calling it a challenge.
Okay,
I like it because for me it is such, and I want challenges. And
I know. I just feel like that's very masculine. I'm like, oh, challenge.
I don't want to make it inherently bad.
Okay, so, keep going.
And so being able to fully flow outside wherever I want to go and follow my highest excitement often, that is like doing this and this and not stopping everywhere and having conversations when I'm want to do something else, and then telling that, but that it comes across that it's coming from the heart, and because often people want to get it wrong, and people put so much into what I'm saying or into what I'm not saying, and then that's their own issue. But I want to make sure, because I could see sometimes, this could be getting so wrong, that it's coming just the way how you say it. And you don't need to say much, just the way how you say it.
Well, I figured out for me on the island, because I also got to the point where it's like, I live here. I don't want to like hide in my house just because everyone knows me. And then what I started doing was just like really honoring my body and maybe, I don't know if this is different in the masculine, but for me in the feminine, people would come up to me and want to ask me for advice or like, let's collaborate on something, or Brittnee, I loved what you did the other day and I love this event and da-da-da. And I would just be like, thank you so much. Really good to see you. And a lot of times I don't even know who they are. I don't remember talking to them because I meet so many people, but I still like can feel this connection, this resonance, So I'm like, so good to see you. I just really need to honor my body, which is like in this flow right now. And I hope you have an amazing day. So it's like, I still am connected to you, but I need to honor myself, because otherwise I would just sit and talk to people all day long.
Yes. And I want, like yesterday evening, I met Julian, and we haven't seen each other the last 2 days, and we really want to catch up. And you know how the dynamic is one-on-one, especially if you're that deep.
Yeah, he's your best friend.
If you're that deep together, you get even deeper. And then if someone comes who is kind of on the surface because we are not that deep, it's the small talk. And then Vegan Savage drove by and he saw us and he came. He was like, hey, can I sit and join us? And I said, hey, and then I'm getting better at this. I said, we haven't seen each other the last day, so we want to catch up one-on-one. And you know how one-on-one the dynamic is just differently. But then he kept looking at me like, and then he said, if that is your highest excitement, then I'm like, don't you get it one-on-one? It's so differently one-on-one, and I want to go fucking deep and have these, and I want to fuck the small talk and the surface shit, and yeah, sure, I invite everyone, and I saw that. Okay, then it's just a party mode, and I want to have these connections. Like recently, it was just the 4 of us, and when this person comes, of course, this person is so nice, and I love this person, but then it's a totally different atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Well, I think a balance in the middle is we're going to start doing more public events where maybe we have like everyone come to Zen Beach and everyone hang out. And
exactly.
We can say hi to everyone, but we literally don't have time to talk to every single person in depth. Like there's just only 1 and 2 of us, you know?
I mean, you don't have time. You make time, but then what is your excitement? And we wanna create this depth, connection, dish, bam, and change the world big times. And then it's just often just noise. Because then it's all on the surface, and then we talk about surface shit all the time, and then it's just small talk. What does he want?
I don't know. The guy's painting.
Like a Spachtel, we call it in German.
Okay. I don't know what he's trying to say. I don't know what he's saying.
I don't know. Shall we just continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, he's gonna go do stuff.
Okay. So and it's great for us talking at the podcast about it, because Vegan Savage is gonna listen, and then they know, and we encourage the same, because I want Vegan Savages to connect with others and experience.
If any of them wants to reach out and start organizing events with us, just let us know.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this together. Like I have the energy. It's my highest excitement to sit and train people how to run these events.
Yeah.
And there's so many, like you have your Vegan Savage group that's on the island. I have my Remote Collective group, which is my crew of friends, which is like over 300 people on a WhatsApp. And they're all like, Brittnee, when are we going to do another event? And I'm like, I don't have time. It's not my highest excitement to be the one organizing the events right now. But if people want to get involved and be part of our volunteer team, yes, that is my highest excitement, to train you and have you be part of it and co-create it with everyone.
Yeah. Being Savage, step in your power, become a doer, acting on your passion. So often I see either people, they just want to be around me and just like that, and then like, and guide me, or people, this is my passion, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to be part of that all. Yeah. So figure out, if you feel excited, I'm kind of part of this, what is my highest excitement? Spend a lot of time alone where you truly find yourself and your passion. Cut all the noise out, and then also learn how it is to have deep connections. Like I really feel drawn to this person, and they all say, hey, can we do something, da-da-da-da-da. What is my highest excitement? I feel so drawn to this person. I want to meet one-on-one. And they ask, hey, can I also join? No, I want to meet one-on-one with this person, and then see how that was. Real connections, and then you are deeper, and then meet them again. And like us now, each time we meet in this big ocean, we go deeper, and we're already so deep sea diving. We already, so I want them to experience that as well, and us giving that as a permission slip by, hey, we want to do this, you go do this, and then everyone around is doing the same. Yeah,
I mean, if your Vegan Savages message you and be like, hey, I have this skill to offer, we are building so much, like literally on a physical level, we're doing so much around the community space, and there's so much we're doing here. If they reach out to you and they're like, I want to get involved, I have this skill to offer, I have so much energy to respond to that and be like, yes, we have this place for you, come do this, come be part of this that we're building.
Vegan Savages, little shout out, I'm giving this Remote Collective space a makeover, and if you are a handyman, if you're handy with things, are passionate about really helping here work and transform this,
putting their energy into it.
exactly, then send me a DM.
Yeah. Then you can come hang out with us because this is what we're doing right now.
Exactly. We and hanging out while creating. That is the best. And it's not this, okay, now this feels quote unquote productive. I'm following my excitement of this. We all wanna become, expand, grow, create something that wasn't here yesterday that will last. We all and then
tell them what we're gonna make the space into.
Yeah. Should I tell them now?
Yeah.
So I just want to finish this.
Yeah, sorry, go.
This message of how everyone probably knows this feeling. We're doing something together that feels productive and we're having quality time, as we're doing right now. Or I'm doing this productive thing and then we just hang out and then
That's boring.
And it's not that we, Brittnee and I, we love watching movies together, but it still goes in the direction of, we're not watching random movies, we're watching movies synchronistically going, and this doesn't mean they are super deep movies, no, they're like Marvel movies, but they're like, we can rest our imagination in this direction. Exactly, and then we can talk about it and figuring all out together, but that it feels aligned, going in the same way, this feels so good. About this place, okay, so here, the Remote Collective. I, yesterday, because I get so good on being on my own, doing my things, focusing on them, everything is so on point, and now we are a team, and I'm so excited about us, and you bring so many new things in I want to do, but then yesterday I got a bit overwhelmed, which I hardly get, I'm spreading my wings too thinly, if that is the saying, and I know how many people do so many things half-ass, but I want to do one thing full-ass, following my highest excitement. Half-ass for me is, this kind of excites me, and this also kind of excites me, and then I do so many things which are just, I'm not really passionate about, but I want to do what excites me the most. And then I was here, and I even wrote it down when I want to talk about, and then that's how I do it. I always come back, okay, what are my highest excitements? Because that's what I want to do. What are my biggest priorities? And then
I want to just tell people what the space is.
The space, exactly. And yesterday I wrote the space because I want to give it a makeover, but yesterday I had still this, it's not my highest excitement. And the reason, sorry.
I just want to tell people what the space is.
Okay, you tell them first and then I go on this rant.
And then I'll let you go on a rant.
Sorry for cutting you off.
It's fine. We're in flow together. But this space I got with my ex-boyfriend 2 years ago when the full lockdown happened on the island, and we lived outside of the space. No one lived here for 90% of the time, and it was fully an event space. It's like a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom mini villa, and right in the middle of the action of Srichanu, which is the main area everyone lives.
And if you're watching right now visually, the living room is huge and so vibey. And
for most of the lockdown, we had a lockdown here, but we didn't have COVID on the island. You weren't allowed to do any events, and most people do events in the yoga shalas, but the police would all know, like, okay, they're doing an event. They would go, like, fine you and give you, arrest you or whatever. But we're tucked away behind a fence, and even the bikes you can hide inside. And our landlord said, yeah, you can do events here. Just, make sure you hide your bikes. So for a whole year and a half, when we didn't have COVID, but, we had some sort of lockdown nationally in Thailand, we had 3 events a day going on here, and we had, 8 facilitators running their own workshops. With 3 events with 40 people each, and this was our community hub for the whole island. And that's why in our WhatsApp group we have 300 people, on Facebook we have 1,000 people, and these are all people who live on the island. And we would do kids events, we would do connection events, cuddle events, play parties, all different types of things. We do psychedelic journeys here, everything. And it's been a place that has had hundreds of events over the last almost 2 years. And I've always just kept it because I didn't know what to do with it. I was this is a space that has done so much for the community. When you walk in, people are like, wow, the energy is so good here. But I didn't know what to do with it. And I always loved living on the beach. And then coming back from Europe, I stayed here because I felt like it is a big space and that it needs energy in it. It needs to be kept up to date. Otherwise, the jungle starts taking over and things start falling apart really easily. And then you walk into my life. So I'm at a moment where I'm like, I don't know what to do with this space. I know that it should be done something creatively. And in walks Ferdinand with so much energy.
Hi. Yeah. So if you're not watching visually, I highly recommend just go on YouTube to just skip through, getting a glimpse of the living room, how nice, open it is, in the tropics, it's the palm trees around, you're like in nature, and the energy here.
It's a portal.
Yeah.
Like when you sleep here, literally, there's things happening in the house at night.
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
And when I was here the first time, the play party, you know, one of the most magical, transformational nights in my life. Then I came home and I mean, not home, in this van through Europe. I did this podcast, which is my most viewed podcast about the play party. And people, it got in their head, they didn't know that this exists. And I didn't know either. And then it changed so many minds. And then I got excited to create my own. And this was, and I always kept thinking about this place. And then coming back here for the next play party. And then always when I, like the next day for this integration round, just the energy here, like, I told you, with you feeling like on Christmas, the biggest part is with you, but also here, or when you were sleeping and I cleaned up everything,
it feels like home.
It feels so arrived. I didn't want to rush it. I didn't even want to listen to Bashar.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah. I just kept this beautiful choir song, this faith hymn.
Beautiful
choir.
Yeah. That's an amazing band.
On repeat, and then just and this energy here, I'm like, wow, and I'm like, yeah, I want to add mine, but then now I'm coming back to my point. Yeah. I wasn't fully excited about giving this place a makeover because it didn't felt like that it's our place, and I didn't want to say it because we're already going so fast. But again, it's clear. That's why. Okay, little side tangent. Is that how you call it?
Yeah.
Hey, my English is getting so good.
It's so good.
Side tangent. I don't know where that comes from.
Where that comes from.
Side tangent. What do I want to say? Wait, I lost my... yeah, exactly. That, you know, us. My heart, it screams, yes, this is so clear. But when I'm alone, like when I'm waking up in the morning, when I'm in the gym, I come with these things to question myself,
Which is good.
Which is good, but still protecting myself where no protection is needed. Because before that, every other relationship I had was always this way. I'm sometimes like, and then I kept thinking, okay, what if this person leaves? And I was always kind of fine with that, always fine. And now I was like, okay, what if you, and I wanna fully let it, because I know it's mutual. And if you would leave or something, at this point I would be devastated. But I know it's mutual. We are so on the same page. Why wouldn't I let it through fully by also talking about things that are kind of long term? I choose you, and I want to call this our place, and I wanna create all these like long term. And often I'm so hesitant when it comes to talking things like that. But I just know, my heart knows, and I know it's mutual, and I know you're not gonna leave. And we chose this life thing together.
Yesterday I was driving home on the bike, and I thought of you dying or something, which again normally for me is like, okay, I can handle this. I just start crying. I was like, no, I'm not okay with this.
Exactly. but I just wanna this head stuff in this protecting way. No, I want it to be us. I want it to be us fully. And so that's why I immediately asked you, like, how would you feel if we call this our place? And then immediately, yeah, you would love to. And then me emphasizing, if it ever feels like that I'm kind of taking over, or that you say it, and we can always take a couple step backs. I'm not about it at all. I'm not this. There's no. No. I want it to be our and mute, and I know we're so on the same page, but it's so good to still talk about it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it was clear, hey, this is our place, I can, and then I had this completely different feeling of, because usually when I'm somewhere like the apartment I rented, it's not my place. I just keep it clean, but it's not my place. I don't have this vision of, I would improve this, I would improve this, I would make this more functional. It's
also nice that we're keeping that for now, so we can.
Yeah, this is nice, but I don't have this vision of. But now, and I didn't have the vision here, and now I see everything, and this also got a bit overwhelming. But then I just keep writing things down, and I do daily a bit, and then I keep involving my friends, so it's more fun, and then step by step. But now, the vision for this place is, the first thing, I want to make it cleaner and more minimalist, that I get rid of all the things here that this morning I put so much trash on the trash place that can just get, and there's a lot more things I would just want to get out. And then making it clean means painting the walls and here changing the painting, so overpainting the walls, and some like up there it's just dirty, so I want to make them like really clean, and then this deep clean, that there's a new standard of clean here, that the bathroom, everything
so German,
everything is like really clean, and then it stays that clean, because right now it's kind of dirty and it stays kind of dirty, but if it's really clean, then we stay that clean.
That's just why I'm so happy you're here, because I also love things clean. I'm just like overwhelmed by this space. And it's big.
I want to get rid of, let's see about the sheets, but I think I want to get new sheets. And
but basically we want to make it the first version of the creative.
Yes, what kept coming back to me, this conscious creator space. I want, and then when it's more clean and minimalist, I want to get my vibe, our vibe on the walls. I want to have these frequencies, like what we truly resonate with now, like nice conscious frequencies of paintings, of words, like
things that are activating.
Exactly, where you just walk in and either you're like, whoa, this is fucking conscious, I feel that. It's like a filter, or what is that? And then a podcast setup, this is my first highest excitement.
That makes me really excited.
Yeah, where the angles are on point, and it's so easy to just, and a nice charging station that after the podcast, you just pop in the batteries in and out there, and then you can come back here and just record, and other creators can come here we really like, and they can start record their podcast here as well, and get Afro a nice bed.
Yeah, she needs a little bed.
And then just and making an upgrade for the kitchen, just and then just step by step, and then. And
if anyone wants to join you in this,
are
they invited to come and help co-create this with you?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you have skills, then
because we want to make this the hub for all of us, being a creator.
And here the energy is so clear. People sometimes they're coming and they just wanna, like, oh hey Ferdi, I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
But then the entire time they just wanna talk to me, and then it's this energy, or they actually have a skill and they actually wanna help me with that. Because often I wanna get things done, I wanna do something.
The thing to tell them is, just by being in your energy, they're already absorbing what they need to know. They don't need to talk to you. They can just co-create together.
And I wanna do something together to create that.
And then organically the rest of it will flow.
Exactly. Yes. All right. and but what to end this podcast, coming back, okay, what excites me the most right now? You wanna hear what I came up with?
Yes.
What do you think the first thing is?
Something dirty. Not PG.
Not what?
I was going to say something American. It's like the movie rating, not PG.
What does it mean?
If something's rated R, it means it's sexual.
And the first thing it is, because it's us, and I love having vibey sex with you, having quickies, just being one. When we make love, you turn me so on, you make me so horny, you make me so aroused. I get these next level bonus where I look down, I'm like, I never had these kind of erections before, and it's just, and then being in you, it's one, and it's no, expectations, no outcome, just I want to feel you, I want to feel us, and it becomes so psychedelic. So yeah, it's us. Us, that's the first thing. Us. Then the second thing I wrote down, and it's not in particular order, or kinda.
Flowy.
The first thing is the most important for us, but then the rest is, it's like, I want to not just do one thing, but all of these daily, like, you know?
Okay, don't be so German about this.
Okay, the second one is content. And then what excites me currently the most about content is podcast. Is I love Instagram stories. I love vlogging and making a makeover of this. I want to vlog that.
Oh, that would be nice.
I'm going to vlog that. And a mix of German and English vlogs.
Yeah.
Infographics, I love that on Instagram.
You're so good at that.
And yeah, I'm going to help you with that as well.
Thank you, babe.
And then all that relates now all to your content. And I want to get Fritz involved.
I'm so excited to meet him.
Yeah. That's what
so
I want to text him when he's coming. I will really, Fritz, if you're listening, and I know you do, come.
But do you want to get other people involved in videoing, or do you think Fritz is enough?
Fritz is the machine.
Okay, I'm excited
He
to meet him.
is a channeler when it comes to editing and making content alive.
Amazing.
But for the podcast, because these files are so long, it's this only makes sense when he's here, so I can give him the SD card.
Oh, cool.
But uploading it and downloading that takes forever, but he's coming soon.
Nice.
So Fritz, get ready for some amazing content. What I also came, just documentary. I wanna eventually a friend that, not just for a single piece of content, but all of that he just documents it and he just films. So whatever we're doing, he's just filming and can ask us questions. So I'm going to get someone who documents it. And often people think...
Are you calling this in from the void? Or do you already know this person?
You
manifesting?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably also Fritz. Because often people think, oh, documentary, you need this big team. But often it's fucking real. You just need a friend that documents the and that is... Like when you watch these behind of the scenes things of something, there's just this one guy with this camera, like at the CrossFit games. I love the behind the scenes. There's this one guy behind the scenes talking to the athletes heart to heart. Wow, he just has a camera and he just talks to them. And a guy or a girl that knows our vision and that comes and checks in frequently and asks questions and that is curious about it. And then we keep gathering that, and then eventually out of that make an amazing documentary. And then eventually, you know, we have some drone footage, when some bigger events are happening, we're going to film that more professionally. But we want to have it real, raw, and authentic. The best things of the documentaries is just a basic camera, and they're in the process.
It's the frequency. It's not about making it beautiful. Look, it is beautiful when it's real. And
then the next one, here, just some words to describe it. Study aliens, alien shit, downloads, channeling, allowing in, receiving, magic. You know, taking quote unquote time, it so excites me. So I want to have all the channels open so we can receive. And now, not getting so used to how things worked in the past, but that what the things about to come and we're going to manifest, I know they're not going to come in the way we know how things are used to come.
Because we're doing all the new. It's like the new.
And that's where we allow all the magic in, that we can bend this reality, and what we're creating is not the same old bullshit. And that's why I keep this, and that then comes in sync with the next one, healthy lifestyle choices, going to the gym, massages, sunset, going for walks, having time for cooking. And this goes hand in hand. When I get a massage, I can listen to Bashar. When I'm at the gym, for me this is meditation. I get so many downloads. I can write them down. I have all this time. I stretch. I go in the ice bath, and this is keeping me so in alignment. And it's about enjoying the here and now. Always ask yourself, being savage. Always ask yourself, do you enjoy what you're doing right now? And if not, what's the point?
How does it feel in your body?
Yes. And if it's not feeling good, then change it that it feels good, and keep doing it in a way where it feels good. I'm constantly now checking in myself. There is no rival. Do I enjoy this right now? And when it, like here, this morning, I did some, or kind of many things here already, and this felt so good. But then at a point, okay, now I could
keep going,
not stop for the next week,
but
I want to do all these other things. So I have this daily dozen list of things I do daily, and I added one, this emoji of a house. I do daily a bit, how much it excites me, and each day, baby steps, and so that it feels good in my body, and that I want to go to the gym today. I want to record this podcast today. I want to drive down there with you, and I want to pick up the books today. And I always want to have time for anything, for just laying around and reading. And I have this list now of creating this flyer. Like I daily love flowing on my MacBook. I get my treadmill desk. I already think where a good setup here is. And then I just flow, creating this flyer, creating this infographic, and just flowing on my Mac and not rushing anything. And oh, the colors are nice. I want to go for a sunset. Slowing down to accelerate, slowing down to accelerate, slowing down to accelerate. And like here, we record a podcast so from the heart, and this is so powerful, way more powerful than recording 20 podcasts. This hits hard. This one hits hard. So this is slowing down to accelerate, because this one is like worth 2 weeks of me recording content, how I kind of did it before. And so the last weeks I haven't vlogged, but I slowed down to accelerate that we're on this level now. This is such a new level for me. And
what did Jillian say yesterday? You're becoming a man.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know, he, not in a cocky way or I'm better or anything, he you know, he looks up to me, but now he looks even more up to me. Since us happened, I have this. And
he was there for all of it. He was very intimately there for all of it.
Exactly.
He saw everything.
and since that, I have this aura around me that doesn't go away, that's there all the time, and I can only call love. And I notice how people notice that, like it's even differently now when I talk to others and friends. Okay, and the last thing I wrote down is makeover of the house, conscious creator space, and yeah, that's it. All right, hey.
I was just looking at how long
this was a long episode
we just
again.
Keep going.
That's why, yeah. Shout outs again to your newest solo episode. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm so excited to edit it today. Upload it soon, listen to it. So when this podcast comes out, it's already out. Hop over to Brittnee's podcast. It might be also on her YouTube channel if you want to watch visually and see this beautiful soul. And just, I want to get these angles even better, that when you do a solo episode, people can look in your eyes. And then I encourage Vegan Savages, watch her visually. When she's talking, look in your eyes and see what it does to you. All right. Anything you want to add?
I just want to say that the next one that I'm doing that you're talking about now is, I'm going to title it something about how to come into your feminine power. It is about feminine power, but I really would love men to listen to it. It is, if you want to connect to the feminine, listen to this. And I speak very practically on how to attract beautiful women into your life and how to connect with them and how to support them and create safe spaces for them. It's for everyone. I just want to say that.
Love that. How do you feel about this episode?
This one. So good. I feel like basically, you guys, this is what we do every day, except for a lot of this is shortcutted because we're telepathically talking.
Yeah.
So you're just hanging out with us on a normal day.
Exactly. This is how it goes all day for us. Now I'm so proud of myself, because now I said it all out loud. You know, when the last podcast, I often didn't say it. I talk how we talk, but I want people to follow. But yeah, this is just real us figuring it out together, and we didn't even know what to talk about on this podcast. When
we didn't plan any of this.
At Daily David's, I just was like, I just want to write down some things. Just came to me, and synchronistically, I didn't look at it, but we talked about everything. So yeah, we can just play record and continue to figure it out together. And it's so nice, because what you put out is what you get back. Being Savages, feel it. And yeah, keep sending me DMs and analyzing it and your input, so we can all learn. We put that out, and then you learn from that, and then what you learn from that, you can teach us, and we can all learn from each other.
Yeah.
All right.
And if they see me out and about on the island, you can always say hi. I will say hi and be nice and then be in my flow. But I don't want people to be scared of me.
Yeah.
I'm nice.
Yes. All right.
Yep.
Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, we're out.
Bye.